Hello viewers, my name is Jimmy Njoroge and many thanks for tuning in to Pillar TV. As usual, it's your favorite show, Spotlight. And we've decided to have a tete-a-tete with a few friends here. From my extreme left is Bwana Julius Mushono, who is a political analyst and also a research scholar, who is also here to, of course, help us dissect on a few issues. Then immediate left, we have Lucy Njeri Mwaneki, my also good friend. Karibu sana Miss Njeri.
Thank you very much.
She's a nominated MCA in the County Assembly of Kirinyaga, and we are here to talk about the topical issues affecting our country. Karibuni, lady and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll start with you, Bwana Mushono. What was your quick reaction concerning Raila Odinga's withdrawal from the 26th repeat poll?
There's this thing we call threat analysis. It gives you an indicator of what you're expecting. Raila had shown clear indications that he is not in the race. Also on the other side, Raila is too strategic. You know, there are quite a number of ways of campaigning. One way of campaigning is what he was doing with demonstrations, and also the opposing view he was giving on IEBC and Jubilee. And now, his withdrawal to me was not anything a big surprise, because it's something most of us expected. You remember also the president has said there is already rumor in the grapevine that he's just about to withdraw.
Yes.
So his withdrawal is an issue that most of Kenyans expected, but it confused them both politically and constitutionally.
Okay, your thoughts, Jerry? Is this something that caught you by surprise? Did you see it coming?
I don't think it was not a surprise, but it was kind of a confusion to many Kenyans. As in, we could see most of the time the NASA people campaigning and also the Jubilee at the same time. So we were really expecting on 26th that the election will continue.
Yes.
But Raila is made up of many confusions. But what we are seeing is that it is his constitutional right to participate or not to participate. At the same time, we are now, the country is now wondering what will happen next, because it's not in our, it has never happened to our country, such a move by any other presidential candidate. So what Kenyans are wondering is what will happen next. In fact, most of them are still, if you check on the social media, the Facebook, there are so many questions regarding the next move.
Yeah.
So it was not a surprise.
Let me bring you on board, Bwana Mushono, on this and probably ask your view. Do you think that Mr. Raila, or could you read some mischief in Raila's move, in the whole thing?
Raila has fought for so many things in this country. He has fought for the scrapping of Section 2A, which introduced multipartyism. He was there in the fight for the new constitution. He has been there fighting for new order, so that our country can be more developed and modernized and modeled according to the other developed countries. But according to Raila, we need to be very careful the way we handle this situation, because this one may plunge this country into a lot of problems. One of the issues I'm finding some mischief is, why did he celebrate the victory which was awarded by the Supreme Court? Why again now, after some times, did he say, now I have this minimum negotiable demands? And then all of a sudden, just 15 days to the elections, I will not be in the elections. That one make me read mischief. But it is his constitutional right. He feels that he cannot trust the IEBC. There are so many confusions in the IEBC, which Raila also needs to be clear. We don't have to agree with anything that is brought
now
on
that
the
brings me
table.
to the question. Do you feel that whatever Raila did was abandonment or withdrawal of, from the poll?
The Constitution talks about abandons, but abandons and withdrawal are relatives. And this is why I was saying this one requires some constitutional interpretation.
Yes.
We need somebody to go to court, take these two words, tell us that is Raila in order.
Yes.
Was he supposed to use the word abandoned or to use the word withdraw? Or do they mean the same? But he has a right to withdraw.
Yes.
But where does he leave the country? These are the questions we need to ask ourselves.
And we saw, of course, Kenyans on Twitter and other social media platforms, aflame with all sorts of sentiments. we saw one particular comment that Kenyans expressing their displeasure, especially I think those very loyal supporters of Raila, saying that Baba ametoroka na pesa zetu. What was your take on this?
Okay, one thing I would say is that Baba, I don't think clearly he went with their money, but all in all, it was not a good move, because you don't expect we donate money for political work, and then you withdraw from the same thing you were telling people that you want to achieve. So
Mushono, what were your thoughts on, they were complaining that the pay bill number was purposely for campaigns, and now we might not see Raila, competing in the polls.
Every other aspect of investment has a specific degree of risk.
Yeah.
You cannot just put your money in a specific box and you expect there is no risk involved. So these people could have identified the risk involved and realized that anything is possible. Raila can do anything. But now they cannot complain that their money has been used in the wrong way. Raila has been on the track doing a lot of things for NASA. Raila is making a lot of movement, is making a lot of expert consultation, and their money is still being spent. So, viewers, this issue of money has been spent wrongly, it has not been spent wrongly. And yet the game is not yet over.
Yes. Now, we saw Raila Odinga go to the Supreme Court to be granted, a repeat poll, and court agreed to that. And we saw President Uhuru Kenyatta talking about the same. Do you feel now, having been granted the repeat poll and then refusing or boycotting the whole process, could be treasonable, as some of the quoters are claiming?
We need to so much search into the Constitution and understand where Raila is coming from.
Yes.
According to the Raila 2013 case, you realize what he did is provided for. So people cannot say he's out of order. This issue of Raila is not on the post. What he did is frustrated only the supporters of Jubilee. He did not frustrate the supporters of NASA. So what we should understand here is now, what we could ask ourselves is, why is Raila speaking on both sides of the mouth? Yeah. He wants the elections, and at the same time he doesn't want the elections. When I read through his mind again and again. Raila, whatever you give him, unless he gets what he wants, it's not all.
Yes. Coming to Mheshimiwa.
Yes.
We saw Kalonzo Musyoka claiming that, or same Raila Odinga saying that they will still continue with the push of what they are calling kungoa visiki, kuziba mahandaki na vile vile kuweka uwanja tambarare. Do you think this whole push for the irreducible minimum demands is still on course? Should they abandon the whole process? Maybe stop the demos now that he's not in the ballot?
Yes, they have done enough of their demonstrations, which are enough to tell the people that there is something they want to be done, and mostly by the IEBC. Yeah. And we have seen even the IEBC calling both sides. And we have seen them trying to come up with a solution. But every time they come with a solution, they still claim that nothing has been done. The issues have not been looked upon. So it's the high time they stop demonstration and they come clearly with what they want. But the President Uhuru Kenyatta keeps on saying that there is no nusu mkate. So we don't know what is left for them. If there is no, the Jubilee claims there is no nusu mkate, the other one claims there are no reforms, their issues have not been tackled. Sure. So Kenyans, we are lying there, we don't know which other move can be taken so that every side can agree all. We are waiting to see what will happen.
Bwana Mushono, do you feel that the street demos are the only, rational way to listen to these people and their push and their demands?
In an African setting, we don't have something like democracy. In African setting, we have not grown to become like US, whereby people can rationalize and listen with their mind other than their heart. Here in our environments, we listen so much with our hearts, how we feel about a specific issue. It's very difficult to listen with people. For example now, the moment you have achieved a specific item, NASA wanted IEBC to do some changes. Now, because the changes have not been made, they have abandoned or they have withdrawn from the race.
Yes.
So I tend to think that one could have been proportionate to the actions on demonstrations. They could have gone out one now. Let us ask ourselves, they are demonstrating for what? What do they
probably
want
we
to
need to
achieve?
ask ourselves.
We need to ask ourselves that question. They were demonstrating for Chiromba to be removed.
Yes.
Now, since Chiromba and the other members of staff have not been removed,
Yeah.
they have moved out of the race. Why are they demonstrating now?
Now, having, probably the look from, the general look is that the whole nullification of the presidential election results left IBC with a bloody nose. Probably, could you tell us that you've seen efforts by the IBC to reconfigure itself in the whole process?
IBC is under siege. And IBC is in a very, very fixed environment. The Supreme Court said we have sufficient irregularities and illegalities to nullify the elections. But they did not get any fingerprints to incriminate any staff. So now, given now Chebukati is working under the instructions and orders of the Supreme Court, what is he expected to do? He is expected to follow those instructions. So he cannot just go and say now, Chebukati, go home. Mohati, go home. There is also procedure to send workers home. It's not just as easy as writing a letter of
And at the same time, these two bodies are independent. In fact, we are waiting to see what will do the next move for judicial and what's the next move for the IEBC.
Do you feel that Mheshimiwa IBC has done enough to rectify that, the mess that, of course, was declared by the Supreme Court?
For something to reform, it does not just come automatically. It's a process. So I can say that IBC is still trying out. It's a process that will continue. Because when you find a problem here, tomorrow you find another one. This one is rectified. It's a process. All what I can see is that IBC has done as much effort as it can. And in fact, people are ready to go for election on 26th. We have seen Chebukati saying that they have tried to rectify on the issues of the presiding officers and also trying to print other ballot papers. You see, and they have tried the effort they could have done up to this level.
In my own view on that issue, above and below, I'm seeing a very weak chairman of IEBC, Chebukati.
Go ahead.
If you look at Isaac Hassan, he was in control of his team.
Yes.
Here we are seeing physical divisions on the people who are supposed to be making policies on issues of elections. So where we don't have teamwork and we are divided, we expect we are going to get very poor results. Chebukati is just going around. Going around. You see, nothing has changed. He has not changed the MOFO.
Yes.
He has not brought in the contract to tell us now these ones are the issues that we have done about MOFO. Look at the presiding officer. A presiding officer completely refuses to send the form to the Constitutional Tallying Center as is required by law.
And of course, these are some of the things being addressed by Jubilee in the Electoral Amendments law.
Yeah, they are the issues Jubilee is addressing.
We are going to address that in a short while.
But remember, this is the same NASA that did away with the first commission of Isaac.
I'll have to cut you short because my director tells me that we have to go on a short break. But we're also coming back to talk about issues of what is going on in everybody's mouth, the constitutional crisis, Bwana Mushodo. Is this a legal narrative or is it just a political, narrative? We're going to address that when you come back. Thanks a lot for keeping it. Pillar TV, remember today we are with Julius Mushodo, who is a political analyst, and also Lucy Njeri, who is a member of County Assembly in the county of Kirinyaga. And we are discussing topical issues affecting our country. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Pillar TV, shaping your destiny. Pillar TV, shaping your destiny.
Welcome back to Spotlight. I'm Jimmy Njoroge, and of course, if you're joining us, we are with Julius Moshono, who is our own political analyst and research scholar, and also Lucy Njeri Moneki, who is a member of County Assembly in Kirinyaga representing women. Before we went to a short break, there's something I wanted to bring on board, and it's in everyone's tongue, the term constitutional crisis. Bwana Julius, I'll start with you. Is this a legal reality or is it just a political narrative?
We've not reached there.
Yes.
So many people would want to scare this environment, and it is very dangerous, particularly because of our business community and our investors. When we talk about constitutional crisis, it means now we have exhausted all the constitutional means to get an election.
Yeah.
So we are at the dead end, and we have not reached there. Remember, there was a swing of events today when the court now said that we need to have more people in the ballot than only Raila and Uhuru. Now this brings Raila back into the race. So the game is not over yet.
Okay, coming to you, Mheshimiwa, do we expect another set of legal battles? Can Raila go back to the Supreme Court? Your take.
That one I leave at the mercy of the judiciary and also the IEBC. They are the ones to give us on the way forward, since us as Kenyans, we had already believed with the Maraga of going back to the elections, but now we have got no other solution unless we are given a solution by the judiciary and the IEBC. That's all what I can say.
Do you anticipate IEBC going to maybe seek for extension of time for preparation of the polls?
I want to come back there. Chembukati was in court.
Yes.
And he wanted to have a clarification on his role as the chief presidential returning officer. And the response that he got from the court left me wondering now whether our court is becoming arrogant or something. Because we need to have the court giving some constitutional guidelines. But you hear some of the judges saying now, I don't understand why you are here. Because the constitution is clear. And you have come for constitutional interpretation. Let me bring it on the table. The election was nullified on issues of transmission. And minor KI case here stated clearly that there is standing officer, that is Chebukati, has no role to verify the results. And yet the issue that nullified the results is one of the issues is verification. And the court here does not give guidelines whether when he finds a mistake in Form 34A, as the number is being transferred to 35B, he can make any adjustment. The court did not give any clear way on what Chebukati should do. Further tying the hands of Chebukati. So I'm wondering now, does the court has attitude? I'm saying, and I will come back, let us as professionals give professional guidance without attitude and without our political affiliation.
And we also saw the court, granting Dr. Akuro Okot his prayer to be included in the ballot. Do we see Raila coming back, making a comeback, now that the polls must be held?
From the experts and from also the professional view, this brings Raila back. If the court now has granted that gentleman that leave, it means now Raila has to come and withdraw again.
Jerry, do you share the same sentiments?
As long, you see, to win a race, there must be a winner and a loser. And here comes that now Raila is not on the ballot, as he says. And now the Kuru Okot has come in. The court has ruled that his name will be on the ballot paper. I think we have a two horse races. That is between Uhuru and Okot, and that's a finished, and that's a full. There must be a winner and a loser. In that case, we have two people contesting, and it is enough to get the president from the two.
The other issue I have to come in there, Bwana Njoroge, is that the name of Uhuru and the name of Raila have already been gazetted by IEBC. So it means it's only those two people who are in the ballot, as per the Supreme Court. Now a junior court has already awarded a court that is going now to contest.
Yes.
Now, I don't understand now the judiciary hierarchy now here. It confuses Kenyans. And that is why we require serious people in the judiciary to continue educating us on where we are going constitutionally.
Yeah. We saw a section of NASA-related side of the political divide boycott the House proceedings concerning the amendment of the electoral laws. What does this portend for, NASA parliamentarians? Is it going to affect the outcome of the laws, of these particular laws?
We have the constitutional requirement on the number that is required so that we can be able to pass a specific rule in Parliament.
Yes.
The quorum that is required. And the people that are required in every committee so that we can have, say, and this issue is now legitimate.
Yes.
The only issue I'm reading mischief in the NASA MPs is they're coming in to sign. Like yesterday, Bob Owino was in Parliament.
Yeah.
What was he doing?
Of course, we saw exchange of blows with
We also saw
his
exchange
counterpart.
of blows, because you can now read now, the NASA MPs, they want to sabotage everything that the government is doing, so that now they can bring this country into the knees, and now people now succumb to their demands, which is not right. They need to be honest enough. What can you, there's another easy way of unifying these elections. If they are honest enough, if 100 MPs resigns from their position, we go to a new elections. Why can't we take that direction instead of taking all these issues with constitutional dilemmas?
Mheshimiwa Njeri, you also belong to Jubilee side of the political divide.
Yes.
Do you feel that these amendments are going to improve the efficacy of elections come 26?
I think it didn't come at the right time, because it just occurred because there were that ruling. But what I would say, it can be progressive. But I think the whole constitution should be reviewed to avoid such things in future. But I think it's not timely. But as my colleague has said, there are other ways that that can be done so that we go back to elections.
Okay. Also bringing to attention what our colleague Julius has just mentioned, the exchange of blows between Bob Owino and Kanyi Njagwa of Starehe. How do you take this, given that these are the honorable members who are representing the Wanjiko? How about the Mwananchi, if the two honorable members can fight?
Remember, these are politicians. And sometimes there is what we call negative publicity is as well equal to positive publicity. So both of them, they're still young in politics, and we may not know, we may not get to know exactly why they had to blow whips on one another. It's not ethical, remembering that you are in leadership. But everybody wants to secure, or maybe want to have a mile ahead in their political. Babu Owino wants to be seen that he's a die-hand for the NASA. And here comes another young man who is a die-hand for a Jubilee. And remembering that they're in the same age, they can do it. They wished to do it physically, which I condemn, and it's not a good example to the young upcoming leaders.
Bwana Mushono, coming to you, what was your reaction to this?
We saw leaders who lack emotional intelligence. We need to have people to stabilize, to know at what point do you argue, at what point do you fight. That one to me sends very poor leadership in these youngsters. Jaguar is from the field of fantasy and art. And Bob Owino is from the field of comrades. You can see where the two fields they are coming in. But what they did, they need now to search deep inside their hearts and know now they are honorable members who needs to now portray good picture to the people so that they can be copied. Remember, leaders have specific powers. There is this reference power to be copied, expert power. They have issues related to parliament that they can give the others, coercive power. All these things we need to have a leader to have all those qualities, which I find now they are missing in these people we are taking to parliament. I don't want to use this name psychophancy, but allow me to use it, because you realize Baba Owino saying, the only president that I know is Raila
Baba.
Odinga. That is Baba. I don't know whether it's a count
Yes.
or it's God in quotes. I don't understand that one.
Do you sense blasphemy in that case, Mheshimiwa? We also saw billboards of Raila Odinga being called Baba Mwana na Roho Mtakatifu. Do we sense some blasphemy where we are joking with God in this?
True, because even in the Bible,
Yes.
you don't have to joke with the Holy Spirit. You can call Raila Baba, that one is allowed. You can call Raila Mwana, that one is allowed. But joking around with the Holy Spirit is even condemned in the Bible. All here, what we are saying is it's not a matter of life and death. If Raila doesn't become president, it's not a matter of life and death.
Yes.
And here in our country, all what we want is an inclusive government. And any president that comes in will not go for this tribe or this one. It's for the whole country.
Yes.
So, and as Kenyans, we believe in one God.
Sure.
And the creature of every human being. And the
Sure. We have to shift gears and talk about the massive, defections within the whole political arena. We've seen Jubilee make massive inroads in the strongholds of Jubilee, of course, fetching something. Do you think this has something to be related with poor leadership within NASA?
There's nothing to celebrate.
Yes.
If we are finding people who are strongly in NASA defecting to Jubilee, that one defects with numbers. But the people who are coming to Jubilee, there are people who have lost. We are having, even in Jubilee stronghold, you are finding that those people who did not get seats, who failed, who did not get it in the elections, they are also defecting to NASA.
Yes.
So it is the failures that were defecting. The question we need to search and ask ourselves is, are they coming with numbers? If they are coming in numbers, they are positive. But look at it. They are the people who had few numbers.
Yeah.
But are they able to convince the people to vote for Jubilee?
Mheshimiwa Njeri,
Yes.
coming to you. Do you feel that probably these defections could have had in the whole defection, the whole withdrawal of Raila Odinga? Maybe did he smell some defeat following these defections?
I don't think Raila felt some defeat. All what he's trying to do is to buy time. Maybe he has lost all his strategies.
Yes.
But maybe he wants to go and sleep and dream again, as I may think.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he'll still come back with another issue. But what I'm saying is people defecting from NASA coming to Jubilee, they're coming as an individual, as what my colleague has said. We need to clearly scrutinize exactly what they have come for.
Yeah.
One thing, they are defecting as an individual, but they are leaving the masses maybe still to NASA. We must be very careful. We must scrutinize and get to know exactly the move behind them defecting
to
to
Raila
Jubilee.
Odinga talk about the proclaimed Jubilee Defectors Fund. Is this a reality, Ms. Njeri?
That one, I may not comment much about it, but I don't think people just love our president, as I may say, because of the late. People are not happy with the demonstrations. Yeah. People are not happy with the language the Raila is using. Yes. People are not happy with the way they are finding solutions. Yes. But people are happy about the way our president is doing. Sure. His moves are in order by him admitting that, and he was remembering that he's the one who had been voted as president, and now this one has been nullified. He still have the belief that he's still going to be the next president by the matter of voting as a democracy.
Bwana, do you agree that Jubilee is buying off, NASA losers into their side?
There is that rumor in the grapevine, yes, that in pesa Ruto, in pesa Uhuru, people are being bought. But there's always a reason why you defect. Yeah. You don't just defect. But there's one area I observed yesterday, in Voi. The governor there has been elected Natikitiwa NASA. Yes. But he's ready to work with Jubilee. That one now tells you that there, Jubilee is gaining.
Raising some eyebrows.
Yes.
We have, we were in Kongoya market. Yeah. We have this guy who was in Citizen. What is his name?
Glanton Samboja.
He's the MP for that area. He was also in the campaign trail
Yes.
of Jubilee. That one tells you something. Because this person has not defected, but is working with the government.
Yes.
So this person is likely warming up for
Yes.
Jubilee.
Mheshimiwa, do you feel that there will be consistency in this whole thing? Are these defectors going to just be there for Uhuru and probably in 2022, shift to other parties?
Sometimes we find that leadership is being servant of the people, but sometimes it goes with the interests.
Yes.
As per that time. Today you have interests for this, but tomorrow you changes because we have lacked merit. We have lacked people who have got Wanjiko at heart. In fact, most of the leaders we are having, they have their own self-interest. Today you might find them defecting to Jubilee, but remember in 2022, another emerging political parties will come in. They will start forming other political, they will start coming together with another strategy.
All right. Well, I'm being advised that we have to wind it up at that point, but I want to give you each 30 seconds, speaking straight to that camera. Do you feel that we're going to have a repeat poll, and what is your message to Kenyans?
One of the issues that first of all I want to say is Kenya remain peaceful and united. This country is ours. And we need to be careful to read the signs that may lead this country into destruction. I'm also appealing to our leaders to rethink and refocus on the issues related to these elections.
Yes.
And we shelve our own political interests and go forward to putting this nation in front of their own personal interest. Also at the same time, I would ask the Independent Electoral Commission to be professional and work within the guidelines as it is contained in the Constitution and in the electoral law.
Okay.
And the Supreme Court.
Correct. Mheshimiwa.
Or what I would say is that everything revolves around leadership. These two bodies, the judiciary and the IEBC, they should command a lot of good leadership. Let them be independent, because they are independent bodies, and let them give the country the best.
All right. Many thanks for your input. Of course, we are having Julius Moshono, who is our political analyst, and also Lucy Njeri Moneki, who is a member of County Assembly in the county of Kirinyaga, talking about the topical issues affecting our country, our county and our country. We'll be coming to you again next time. My name is Jimmy Njoroge. Thanks for keeping it Pillar TV.